Hi guys, in this video I want to talk about how you pronounce the word that is spelt L-I-C-H. Now this is not a word that we use outside the kind of fantasy realm particularly often, if at all I would say. I would actually say if you ever use this word it is whilst playing some type of game or reading some type of fantasy book. And that might explain why there is some argument about how to say this word. Now, if you've already answered the question that I asked in the title, which is how do you pronounce this word, you've probably rushed a little too early. I am actually completely aware of the fact that the most common way to say this word is Lich, as if it had a T before the CH. If you go and search online, the chances are the majority of hits will suggest that is the correct way of saying it. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about what is the correct way of saying this word. Is there only one way of saying it? Does it change depending on what language you're speaking? And so on. And ultimately, I want to know where this word comes from. Those of you who watch my videos probably already know that I don't say it that way. I say Lich, and I don't say Lich, but it's close to that. And I don't say Lich as if I was, I believe the Scottish say Loch for Loch Ness Monster. They don't say Loch Ness Monster, they say Loch. Forgive me if I'm horribly mangling that as well. I probably have offended Scotland now. But I say Lich kind of halfway between the K, the hard K, and the soft CH in Loch. So, am I saying it correctly? Or is it Litch? Or is it something else? Is there a correct way to say this? Is it a word that was invented? When was it invented? Where does it come from? Who used it first in this context? These are all the questions I've got about this, and I'm hoping to spark a little bit of a discussion around this word. So let's define what the hell we're talking about first. I've checked Wikipedia, and under the entry for L-I-C-H, Lich or Lick, depending on how we're going to say it, I will say it Lich for now, as that is the most popular way of saying it, just for make it easier to read this. It states, in modern fantasy fiction, a Lich, sometimes spelled Litche, cognate to Dutch L-I-J-K, pronunciation unknown, and German L-E-I-C-H-E, which I'm assuming is Lich, I'm not sure, both meaning corpse, is a type of undead creature. Often such a creature is the result of a transformation as a powerful magician or king striving for eternal life, uses spells or rituals to bind his intellect to his animated corpse and therefore achieve a form of immortality. Liches are depicted as being clearly cadaverous, their bodies desiccated or even completely skeletal. Liches are often depicted as holding power over hordes of lesser undead creatures, using them as soldiers and servants. Unlike zombies, which are often depicted as mindless part of a hive mind and or under the control of some magician, a Lich retains revenant-like independent thought and is usually at least as intelligent as it was prior to its transformation. Okay, so that's defined what I mean by Lich or Lich. Now what I want to do is ask you guys some questions with the ultimate aim of finding out how this word is supposed to have been said, or if indeed that question can be answered. The first thing I want to know is, where does the word come from? I checked the online etymology dictionary, and it suggests the word comes from an Old English word lik, for the body, for dead body, corpse. And this is also similar to the words used in Dutch and German for corpse. I'm not sure how to pronounce them, but the German word looks like it's Lich? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. There is an Old Norse word, an Old Nordic word for cadaver, for corpse, which is lik, again, with the hard K. And there are some other versions of it in Danish, Swedish, and so on that, again, match the lik or lig pronunciation. And those all mean corpse, cadaver, dead body. But of course, I'm getting this information from a Google search. And that is, let's face it, about the least reliable way to get information. I am not an expert on linguistics, language, by any means, and so I'm very suspicious of this data. So, are any of you aware of other etymologies for this word, other places this word may have come from, and how those words were pronounced? And the earlier the better. I mean, if you can find a reference to an undead creature or a dead body type thing that matches this word, and it's from 1,000 years ago, and it crops up in several tales, brilliant. I'm gonna guess that's unlikely. This is probably going to be difficult. So really, I guess the second question is, if we can't find an old reference to the word, when did we first start using it in the fantasy world? I mean, was it a certain book, or was it Gary Gygax in his Monster Manual, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Edition 2 or something ridiculous? Was it then? Was that the first time it was ever used? And I suppose the third question would be, if we can find out where the word came from, when it was first used in a fantasy setting, and how it was pronounced by the person who did that, will that mean we have found the correct way of saying it? Or are we just going to accept that words are fluid and it may differ where you are, it may differ language to language? Is there a correct way to say this word? So here's the thing. I'm really interested to know what you guys know. No, not necessarily what you think. And you know what though? That even isn't true. Feel free to put a reply down below saying, I think it said Lich because that's how I've always said it. That's how I've always heard it. I've never heard it said any differently. Because isn't that how most of us learn most of the words? In fact, pretty much all of the words we use. We hear it day in, day out, and that's how we believe it's said. I mean, let's face it, every single time I use the word beta, it causes God knows how many comments from people who are like, oh my god, you can't even say that word correctly. It said beta, or I'm not sure how you guys say it. It never sounds like beta when an American says it. It always sounds like a D, like beta. I'm guessing that's a soft T. But anyway, I get that. So yeah, no, the words are said differently in different languages, and English is not quite the same as American English. So yeah, we say things differently. Anyway, there you have it. How do we say this word? Is there a correct way to say it, and why do we say it? Leave your responses, please, if you can. Leave a video response. I'd love to hear how you say it, along with the reason you say it. I mean, is it just habit? Is it just that's how you always thought it was? Or have you done some research? I mean, if there's anyone out there who's good at this sort of thing, who's very good at getting to the roots of words, their meanings, their origins, and so on, I really would like to hear from you. For me, this is a pretty fascinating subject. Anyway, I think I've babbled long enough on this subject, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.